Okay, let's dive into this explainer. Have you ever noticed just how much we rely on the animal kingdom to describe human behavior? I mean, animals give us this amazing universal shorthand for all those complex and, let's be honest, often messy human traits. While today, we are going on a very specific, highly entertaining type of safari. We're looking at the Brazilian linguistic safari. We're going to examine exactly how Brazilians take everyday creatures and turn them into vivid, descriptive slang to nickname the people around them. It's totally fascinating.
Our whole foundation today comes directly from this fantastic insight. In Brazil, we love using animal names to describe people, sometimes as a joke, sometimes not so nice. And that literally hits the nail on the head. This linguistic safari is going to cover a pretty wild spectrum. We're going to explore terms that range from playful, affectionate teases you'd use with your best friends, all the way to some rather harsh reality checks.
All right, so first up on our tour is Exhibit A, the not-so-nice names.
Consider this the insult portion of our tour, where the meanings definitely hit a bit harder. We're starting with the burro, which literally translates to donkey, but in Brazilian slang, the meaning is idiota, or idiot. We aren't talking about farm life or stubborn pack animals here. Just imagine a colleague making the exact same, completely avoidable mistake 3 times in a row. Yeah, that is a classic burro moment. When you drop this term, you aren't just making a casual observation. You are delivering a direct, unfiltered critique of someone acting foolishly. It's just a really quick, sharp way to express absolute exasperation with someone's lack of judgment.
Next up, we have the porco, meaning pig. And the slang translation here is sujo, which means dirty. Now, what's really interesting about this is how universally understood a pig's muddy reputation actually is across totally different cultures. I want you to think of that one roommate. You know, the one who leaves a mountain of dishes in the sink for days? Or maybe someone with a completely chaotic, crumb-covered workspace where you literally can't even see the desk. In Brazil, labeling that messy behavior is as simple as invoking the porco. It paints an immediate vivid picture of someone who severely lacks basic tidiness and hygiene.
Then there's the cobra, or snake. The human trait associated with this one is falso, or fake. Notice the incredible dissonance here between the literal reptile slithering unseen through the tall grass and the deeply personal human betrayal it represents. When you call someone a cobra in Brazilian Portuguese, you are referring to a genuinely two-faced person. We're talking about someone who might smile warmly at you in person, but strike the absolute second you turn your back. Actually, scratch that. It goes far beyond just being a little dishonest. It paints a very cautionary picture of a toxic individual you absolutely cannot trust under any circumstances.
Let's move to and see how this builds in Exhibit B, quirky traits and habits.
So, by moving away from those harsh insults and character flaws, we can shift our tone to lighter, much more observational nicknames based on everyday personal habits. Take the tartaruga, or turtle. Its slang meaning is simply lento, or slow. Ask yourself, do you have that one friend who takes absolutely forever to get ready to go out? You know, the one who makes you miss the first 10 minutes of the movie because they're still hunting for their shoes while you wait by the door? Well, in Brazil, that chronically slow friend is the tartaruga. It's an instantly recognizable, highly relatable visual of someone moving at their own, very leisurely pace while the rest of the world just rushes by.
Now, if the turtle is your slow friend, the papagayo, or parrot, is for sure your loud one. This slang translates to fala muito, which simply means talks a lot. And this brilliantly illustrates how mimicking a loud, chatty bird perfectly describes someone who just won't stop talking. It's usually not meant maliciously at all. It's just a highly accurate, amusing observation of that specific person at the party who constantly feels the desperate need to fill every single second of silence with chatter. They're just echoing words into the room without pausing for breath, exactly like a lively parrot in a crowded space. Finally, we have the formiga, or ant. In Portuguese slang, this means ama açúcar, loves sugar. Think about how a tiny ant is magnetically, relentlessly drawn to a dropped piece of candy on the sidewalk in the middle of summer. This tiny, industrious insect perfectly represents a completely harmless, sweet-toothed human craving. It's a wonderful linguistic connection, really. If you're the type of person who physically cannot resist asking for the dessert menu after a massive dinner, or, you always have a secret stash of chocolate hidden at your desk, congratulations, you are a formiga.
So, the crucial point is that understanding a language deeply means understanding its cultural and visual metaphors. Going from the sharp, critical insult of the burro all the way down to the light-hearted, teasing nature of the formiga really shows us the entire spectrum of this slang.
You can see how perfectly each animal's natural behavior maps onto complex human traits. It's absolutely crucial for grasping the real language, revealing how Brazilians use the natural world to colorfully express everything from profound mistrust to affectionate amusement.
So what does this all mean for you? Well, it brings us to an important question. Want to learn more fun Brazilian Portuguese expressions? We have only just scratched the surface of how rich, descriptive, and playfully visual this language can be when you dive beyond standard textbook vocabulary and into the vibrant reality of everyday conversation.
If this explainer sparked your curiosity, here's your actionable next step. Send a message today and book your free trial language lesson. Seriously, think about it. If this is what you can learn from just a handful of animal names, imagine how much more of the language, the incredible humor, and the culture is waiting to be uncovered in a full lesson. The linguistic safari absolutely doesn't have to end here. Thanks for hanging out with us and keep learning.